I have been waiting for thee to overcome thy trials. Long have I waited for thy return. Know this, his life is not yet ended.
This voice.
It all started on that ill-fated day when the usurper thought to extinguish his light. Before he fades away, recount all thou hast seen and felt, all thou hast gained in thy journey's course. Gallica and thee sought to take the head of Louise, but thy efforts came to naught. So, ye moved instead to join a tournament to decide the land's king.
In the prince's name.
Though thy plan was reckless, thou didst win the trust of the people by the support of peers and subjects alike. Thus, thou didst declare thyself the prince.
It was all for victory.
After overcoming many obstacles, thou didst finally lift the prince's curse. Yet by the cruel machinations of another, the young prince.
He lies dead before me.
Thy sole mission was to save the prince. Bereft of him, thou hast no further reason to live.
That's not true.
If the prince is dead, weren't thy efforts all for naught?
His will lives on.
So thy resolve is yet unbroken. So be it. Thou hast earned the truth. He was consumed by the curse, and was taken by a deep, abiding slumber. Yet his soul remained alive, so from his earthly form, I extracted his soul, that he might travel the land in Odyssey. And thus, his stilled sands began to flow once more. Thy journey hast taken thee far, and taught thee much. So now I ask thee, who art thou?
I'm the prince's friend.
Is that truly thy role? Clear your mind and think, to name but a few. Thy parents, memories of thy youth? Hast thou any recollection of where and how thy youngest years were spent? Yes, thy memories begin the moment thou befriend the prince. Dost thou suspect the reason?
I don't have a past.
As I said, thou hast nothing. Thou art a being of mine own creation. 'Twas Gallica alone who the Resistance laid their hopes upon all those days past. Thy life had yet to begin. All thou hadst, all that had been bestowed, was a memory. Thy mission to save the prince. Thy memories of youth in the prince's company, and the void enshrouding all else in thy past. All signs of thy conjured existence.
I have nothing?
Nay, the words of the prince in thy memory are unmistakably of his true heart. The memories gained on thy journey, the friendships made, the trust forged. These true things art thine own. All thy trials, all thy experiences wert to prepare thee for this day, to share the strength thou hast gained with thy other self.
Do you mean...
Accept the truth, and thou wilt face an ordeal beyond any you have yet faced. If thy desire is instead for freedom, thou mayest still abandon thy mission and end it here.
Is that right?
So I bid thee answer my final question. Who art thou in truth?
I am the prince.
What is this? I feel a curious resonance.
Could this be? But how? Impossible.
Hey, what's going on?
What awaits us now?
Hark, life is not yet lost. Thou wert born apart from the prince's flesh, born of his desire to change the world. In his stead didst thou travel the world. Thou didst support his heart, and became his living fantasy. That is thy true self. Thou art everything the prince sought to be, his ideal. It all began with the novel in thy possession. Drawn by the divine relic, Magla coalesced into flesh, and flesh coalesced into form. The form of an elder, as I once was. Time hath come. Awaken, reborn anew. No more the prince's dream of utopia thou wouldst chase. Nay, but thine own.